Oda tends to write his characters backwards. Oda will introduce a character and we will sit with that character for hundreds, if not thousands of episodes and know virtually nothing about their past. And then one day he drops the craziest backstory and it ties everything together. All of a sudden a villain becomes somebody that you're kind of empathizing with because you're like, wait a minute, you've been through some crazy stuff. Or one of the main characters all of a sudden has twice as deep of a backstory as you possibly could have imagined. Wait, you thought it was sad from the Baratie? Just wait for Whole Cake Island. Sometimes you see a villain at the very end of their rope completely washed out, but then you'll randomly get one little scene to realize, wait a minute, they were hot in the past. What happened? And yes, that's a bit of a joke, but Oda genuinely likes to draw people who have crashed out as a more ugly or rundown version of themselves. Like if you didn't live your dreams, you don't keep looking like that. You turn into this. But to the point, Oda presents these characters with an outcome first and backstory later, if ever. This style of writing seems to really showcase what life events and trauma can really lead to in a person's life. Like sure, you're this badass cook who wears suits and looks suave all the time, but then you realize what this person went through to become the person who is being presented today. This does such a great job of showing you that absolutely anybody could eventually fall down the wrong path or the right path depending on what happens in their life, especially childhood. But Croc could have ended up being a good guy, but we don't know what actually happened to him when he was a kid. Sanji could have just as easily been a bad guy. And Gecko Moria. Again, he was hot. What's going on? This concept comes from my homie Zen over in Discord. We are talking about this stuff all the time, and they brought this up, and I thought it was just such a brilliant point I had to talk about it a little bit. I'll get out of the way so you guys can read the original comment. But writing these characters in this backwards manner just gives us a way to connect with them before we make any assumptions, and also makes it to where we're kind of going in blind. It's such a fun way to develop a character throughout a long-paced story the way this one is. And overall, I just think it adds so much more meat to all of this. The simple takeaway is you never know what someone's been through in their life to get them to the point that they're at right now. So don't judge, even if they're presenting as a bad guy, or a good guy, or a hot demon guy.